Good morning. It is Thursday, January the 12th, 2023. I'm Pearson Bowen. This is the CBC Morning Report. A new super-resistant mosquito may pose a big threat to the fight against dengue. Scientists tracking mutations in the dengue-spreading Aedes aegypti mosquito have found the most resistant strain ever identified. They fear the mutation could also impact other Aedes aegypti infectious diseases such as Zika and yellow virus. The strain, known as the FTWC, has been found in Cambodia and Vietnam. And joining us this morning now to talk about the strain and how it could impact Barbados is the Director of the Center for Biosecurity, Dr. Kirk Douglas. Dr. Douglas, good morning to you. Thank you. How did this super strain come about? Well, we'll try to get to Dr. Douglas in just a moment, but I can't hear myself, and I'm hoping my technical crew can sort me out there as well. We'll try to get him to talk more about this big story straight ahead right here on the CBC Morning Report. We'll take a break here, and we're coming back with more in just a moment. Well, we believe we can hear each other now. We did start by talking about this new resistant strain mosquito happening across the world. Joining us is Dr. Kirk Douglas. Good morning, Dr. Douglas.
Good morning, Pearson, and good morning, Barbadians.
Good. That's all right. Help us understand this strain. Where did it come from? How did it happen?
Okay, so as you would know from antimicrobial resistance, this is where antibiotics are misused and bacteria acquire the ability to survive antimicrobial treatment. It's the same thing that you're seeing with mosquitoes. In this case, you're using insecticide. And so when insecticide is used in the environment, some of the mosquitoes within the mosquito population will actually survive, and you will kill some of the others. And what happens is that those that survive get to live, reproduce, and therefore the population then becomes increasingly more resistant to that insecticide. What we are seeing in Southeast Asia is that this particular strain of these mosquitoes are on record as being the most resistant, insecticide resistant strain of mosquitoes, which is a concern. And some of the other surrounding Southeast Asian countries are on alert. And I think within the Caribbean, what we are also very alert about is the dengue epidemics that are actually occurring currently in Southeast Asia as well, with pretty high incidence of the severe form of dengue as well. So that's something in the Caribbean, being that now we are in the midst, or well, we have an extension of the rainy season, and you would see that even this morning we had some bit of rain. And so we have to be conscious of this and also prepare within the Caribbean for what could be a spread of this dengue epidemic across the seas to the Caribbean.
One would think Asia is so far away that it's unlikely that it could be finding itself here in the Caribbean. What do you say to that thought?
Yes, it is indeed very far away, but as you would appreciate, with global travel, the world is much smaller than it appears on a map. And this is because of air travel. This is also due to trade, and this is international trade amongst countries. So shipping containers can also carry larvae. They could also carry eggs of mosquitoes, and so vigilance at the ports is going to be important. We also have that set up in Barbados at the ports of entry, the Environmental Health Department. That's what they do. They will screen shipments of containers for the presence of mosquitoes. But it's just that we have to definitely heighten that vigilance because of what's emerging globally.
What should the individual householder do in preparation?
I think what we can do is definitely keep our environment much cleaner. The littering of waste and garbage, and also the illegal dumping, we have to definitely reduce that significantly. And just keep our surroundings clean and tidy, clearing those bushy areas to reduce the risk of mosquitoes breeding. And a mosquito doesn't need a whole lot of water to breed. Just even a cap full of water is sufficient for them to lay their eggs and for those larvae to hatch and then to emerge into adult mosquitoes. So vigilance, being calm, not panic, but definitely being vigilant and taking action for sure.
If the insecticides are now becoming resistant, what does one do? Are manufacturers already in process trying to catch up, so to speak, to this super resistant strain?
Well, it would be the mosquito that will emerge as being resistant. The insecticide is the agent that is set against the mosquito to kill it. What we can do within the Caribbean, as I said, the insecticide is one method of vector control, but you also have preventative vector control, like what I mentioned in terms of keeping your surroundings clean and tidy, and also in terms of the waste. That is very important. And to ensure that the drainage systems are working correctly so you don't have pooling of water in certain areas as well. But I think globally what we have to do is to look at new ways, innovative ways of actually killing mosquitoes. And that's something that the center is quite keen on doing. And we are actually involved in a project at the moment that is looking to utilize renewable energy to kill flying insects rather than insecticide. So this would move away from the use of these chemicals and to use a more intelligent strategy to kill these mosquitoes.
On another matter, we're hearing now about the first human infection of bird flu in a 9-year-old in Asia. What can you tell us about that and how concerned should we be?
Well, yes, that occurred yesterday in the news feed, and that is something that we are definitely keeping an eye on. Way before COVID, influenza was the big thing in infectious disease. Everyone thought that the next pandemic would be an influenza pandemic. But when COVID hit in 2019, late 2019 and 2020, what we saw was the shift away from that and more focus on COVID, and quite rightfully so. But what was emerging at that point in time is the evolution of an avian flu epidemic in wild birds and also in poultry. There have been, since 2020 till now, some infections in human. It's very rare, but what it is indicating is that the virus is changing and adapting to be able to infect humans. The fear is that if it does continue in this manner, is that you will have some measure of human-to-human transmission and therefore the spawn of a new pandemic. But that is very rare, but it is something that definitely we have to keep an eye on.
We thank you for keeping your eye on it, you and your team there at the Biosecurity Studies at the University of the West Indies, and thank you for joining us on the Morning Report today.
Thank you to Pearson.
You're welcome, Dr. Kirk Douglas, the Director of the Center for Biosecurity Studies at the university. Well, though being dealt a blow by the COVID-19 pandemic, the Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court says its courts have been able to adapt. Her Ladyship, the Honourable Dame Janice Pereira, at the opening of the 2023 law year, told those present in Anguilla the embrace of the blended approach has worked.
This blended approach, which is being adopted today, with some speakers physically present and some appearing virtually, is a signal of a gradual return to the physical spaces of the courtroom and in-person hearings. That may be met with some mixed reviews, but we must start somewhere.
Justice Pereira is pleased with the progress and strides of women in the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court.
I think it's important to highlight that for the first time since the establishment of this court, 4 women are now serving on the Court of Appeal. I consider this achievement to be a step in the right direction towards gender parity.
Well, in Guyana, former Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan is optimistic an amnesty period for unlicensed firearms can be a valuable tool in the fight against crime and insecurity in the country. According to him, the country's high criminal violence is mainly due to the proliferation of illegal firearms.
That is what I think this government should do again. Say that we are going to, within a certain deadline, ask that you bring in all your unlicensed firearm. However, once you are caught with an unlicensed firearm, after that date, which is like an amnesty period, you are going to be severely dealt with.
In recent months, law enforcement authorities have been struggling to get ahead of the numerous crimes involving the use of guns, and Ramjatan is adamant that an amnesty period could help. Modeling international best practices in September 2015, the coalition government launched its amnesty initiative, which was lauded as extremely successful. 147 guns were surrendered to the police, along with almost 2,000 rounds of ammunition during a 6-week period. This included 21 shotguns, 10 pistols, 7 air rifles, 3 revolvers, and 1 AK-47.
In the Bahamas, rebuilding with resiliency in mind is the focus of residents of Abaco, who are still recovering 3 years after the devastating blow by Hurricane Dorian. Member of Parliament for Central and South Abaco, John Pinder, says that island is coming back stronger than before. Our news reports.
Member of Parliament for Central and South Abaco, John Pinder, applauding the strength of Abaconians as he says recovery efforts on that northern island are coming along.
I have put a lot of things in place in 2022 to come to fruition in 2023 in terms of infrastructure, government buildings, the port, bringing the airport up to standard, Treasure Key Airport, so on and so forth, that still need to be done.
Pinder says the Keys, which are the economic powerhouse of Abaco, are nearly fully recovered.
I'd say upwards of 80%. And the demand there is very, very high. We have a strong touristic product right there in the Keys. Downtown Marsh Harbor is building back nicely. There's a lot of marinas that are still finishing the rebuild and a lot of retail operations that are coming online. So in terms of Abaco in a whole, I'd say we're in the range of 60 and 70%. But different communities are further along than others.
Recovering housing is also a major focus this year.
We lost so many houses, but we also lost rental units, and the rental units haven't come back yet.
The police force in Belize, along with the country's Financial Intelligence Unit, are investigating a phishing scam, which continues to target people through fake emails and text messages. The police force has recently noticed an uptick in these types of scams and believes illicit proceeds are being transferred between local accounts in Belize's banking system. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams says the police are working with the unit to bring these perpetrators to justice.
with those type of investigations, we certainly will be aided tremendously by the FIU. They are the ones who have the legislative teeth to be able to make requests to the banks and demands for the banks to do certain things. And I listened attentively to Mr. Clear's presentation in the news on Friday, and he made the point that Belizeans need to be aware of this local fishing that is happening with the banks, and ensure that whenever you get those emails or text messages, you do not click yes or whatever the term may be as it relates to that. But if it is, what the investigation have to focus on is who are those persons sending those links, what accounts are linked to those messages, because there is where the money is going. And FIU do have the capability to be able to get those information. So we're really optimistic that with those investigations, we're going to be successful in finding the perpetrators.
Fear is rising among the Pakistani people as 2 police officers were killed by the Taliban. The Asian country is on high alert as the armed group ended a ceasefire last November, ordering its fighters to launch fresh attacks on the state.
Police in Pakistan are on high alert. It comes after the Pakistani Taliban targeted police in recent weeks and threatened the Prime Minister and Foreign Minister. But in the province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, it's the police who are on the front line.
The militants have equipped themselves with thermal sights on weapons. Now those thermal sights are being used by militants on guns, sniper weapons, and they are targeting policemen at night time on rooftops of the police stations where they are guarding or on various checkpoints.
But just days ago, 2 police officers and 1 civilian were killed during an attack by the Pakistani Taliban. The situation has angered locals who fear a return to violence. They took to the streets to voice their opposition to the Taliban. The threat is very real. The Pakistani Taliban released this training video, promising more attacks and declaring its intention to impose its hardline interpretation of Islamic law and its opposition to the Pakistani military.
Psychologically, each and every Pashtun very disturbed because of these militancy like situation like here in KP, kidnap the people, receiving the ransom, threatening them, targeting them. So the situation is very alarming.
In the capital Islamabad, there have been warnings of possible attacks against diplomats and foreigners. 2022 saw 150 attacks carried out by the Pakistani Taliban, killing dozens of people.
California continues to be battered by Pacific winds, causing flooding, mudslides, and thousands of people to evacuate. Since last week, at least 14 people have been killed, according to the governor's office, with a 5-year-old still missing in the floods.
The latest in a relentless series of storms battered the California coast on Tuesday, with waves in some places 7 meters tall. The storms have caused widespread flooding, as 90% of the state's population was placed under a flash flood warning. In many places, water-saturated hillsides have collapsed in dangerous mudslides. Tens of thousands of people have been evacuated from communities all over the state.
We were watching other people being evacuated, and we just had no idea. It was just a shocker, and it was just unbelievable, you know, seeing the water come in and then it just gushing, just like a river.
In Sacramento, the state capital, utility crews worked to restore power. High winds have toppled trees and power lines, leaving more than 200,000 people without electricity on Tuesday. In Santa Cruz, the San Lorenzo River, normally just a trickle of water, became a muddy brown torrent. Beaches were piled high with debris. Nearby, enormous waves crashed against rocky cliffs, in one spot tearing away part of a residential street. The storms have proved costly and deadly.
People have been swept away in floodwaters and killed by trees knocked over in high winds. California's emergency agencies agency estimates the damage may exceed $1 billion.
And it's not over.
The fact that we're not out of the woods. We expect these storms to continue at least through the 18th of this month. We expect a minimum 3 more of these atmospheric rivers in different shapes and forms, depending on different parts of the state.
Well, coming up this morning on Morning Barbados, we'll meet the winners of the just concluded Lux Gem pageant. Who are they and what's their journey? They'll tell their story to me and to you in just a little while as well. Also today, the very talented Irika Jelani has an exhibition mounted and she'll be joining us to talk about the exhibition and a whole lot more. So too this morning we'll meet a pioneering Barbadian entrepreneur, May Hines, as she talks to us about her tourism journey. She's quite a talented soul and so she'll join us to talk about that, so don't miss it when you join me this morning at 6:30 for Morning Barbados. You're watching the CBC Morning Report. We're back in just a moment.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
The CBC That Made Us, featuring programming from yesteryear, which impacted the lives of many Barbadians. Join me, Sean Green, taking you back to some of your favorite shows from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s during the series The CBC That Made Us, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and repeated on Fridays, 11:30 a.m. The CBC That Made Us.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
A number of homes have been handed over to families as part of government's White Hill relocation project. Trevor Thorpe reports.
It was with a sense of happiness and satisfaction that these 3 families accepted the keys to their new homes at Farmers St. Thomas today. The process is the realization of government's promise made with the White Hill relocation project. Minister of Housing, Dwight Sutherland, accompanied by Member of Parliament for St. Andrew, Dr. Rommel Springer, and officials from his ministry and of the National Housing Corporation, handed over the keys.
Despite handing over the 3 houses here this morning, we are not finished. We have sent out tenders, Mr. Foster, to construct 4 additional houses this year for persons from White Hill to be relocated in Farmers. So that would make the total of 9 persons, hopefully by the end of this financial year.
Minister Sutherland says the project is about keeping the community together while alleviating the problem faced by residents of White Hill.
We are building a new road at White Hill, and we have an additional 14 persons to be relocated. Now we are here this morning not only to hand over keys to Mr. Kambash and the Ward family and the small family, but we are here this morning also to look at the availability of land in this area. I understand there's some 4 to 5 acres that we want to discuss with the landowners, whereby we can purchase it. The state can buy it, government can purchase it, so that those 14 persons, the additional 14 persons, can be relocated and they still have a nice community. It will be the White Hill community in Farmers.
Member of Parliament for the area, Dr. Rommel Springer, says it is the start of the resettlement process for families and the beginning of a road project.
This is just 3 of what is expected to be additional 16 or so persons who would be relocated to this location. Of those 16, 14 will be as a direct result of the plan works for the road that we are repairing in White Hill. Now I'm happy to share with Barbados that we are pretty much advanced in our planning stages for the reconstruction of a road in White Hill. This would have been about 8 years or so since the road was slipped away, and it was determined in our discussions, in our planning sessions, that by the engineers, that it would not be safe to build a road using the same footprint that really the existing road is located.
33 people will be moved by the end of this financial year. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Well, government is still very hopeful of getting qualified members of the faith-based community to assist in providing critical professional counseling services to the island's school children. That's according to Minister Colin Jordan, who made the comment as he addressed a faith-based organization's consultation at the Lord Erskine Sandiford Centre in his capacity as Minister with responsibility for ecclesiastical affairs. Also speaking at that consultation were some members of the faith-based organizations who've been sharing their views on the island's crime situation. Ryan Broom reports.
Good morning. In his opening remarks, Minister Jordan thanked the leaders for their ongoing work, both individually and along with government, in helping to attend to many of the needs of the island's most vulnerable individuals and families, especially during the pandemic. He says government is now keen on once again pushing the offer previously made by faith-based organizations to assist in the provision of professional counseling services.
This is an idea that preceded COVID because there was a recognition, and there continues to be a recognition, that the state is not able to provide all the resources to address counseling in our educational institutions, particularly our primary and our secondary schools. We do not have enough trained counselors that we can employ and deploy.
Minister Jordan adds that government recognizes the various challenges that exist in the school setting that affect both students and teachers. However, he says the nature of counseling they are seeking to secure right now will be mainly for the children.
The children come from all kinds of backgrounds, from all kinds of situations, and it is not a matter of only one type of child needing counseling.
A report there from Ryan Broom. Promise made, promise kept. That's the word from Minister of Home Affairs Wilfred Abrams as he presented the boys at the Government Industrial School with a full barbering kit. It comes just a month after the school received a fully equipped salon for the girls to train in cosmetology, and the donation was made possible by Paradise Beauty Supplies.
They offered to donate the full set of equipment because they bought into the vision. They've also made other donations to schools who are doing skills training of beauty equipment and barbering supplies. So I want to thank them.
Well, Harris Paints has partnered with the Barbados Road Tennis Association to stage the first major youth road tennis tournament for 2023. It's titled the Harris Paints Electing a Champion Youth Road Tennis Competition. Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing Luke Ticknard says it forms part of the company's 50th anniversary celebrations. The action serves off on Saturday at the Elite Road Tennis Academy in the Old Flow Car Park in the Ivy. It moves then to Dover, then Golden Square in the city for the semi-finals, and climaxes on the 21st of January with the finals at the Harris Paints head office in Wilde.
In addition to hosting the finals, we were very happy to be able to supply paints for the courts used in the tournament, T-shirts for all the players and officials, and other funding and marketing support designed to make sure that the tournament was a success. We have a number of avid road tennis players on our staff, and it was great to see team members from our retail, sales, and marketing teams jump right in to assist with the planning. Beyond the tournament itself, though, we've also decided to establish an ongoing partnership with the BRTA over the coming months. Upon hearing Mr. Blunt describe his vision for road tennis in Barbados, which is all about attracting more youth to the sport and making it more accessible to all Barbadians, we decided the best way we could help was to ensure that more courts were installed across the island. As such, I'm pleased to announce that Harris Paints will be working with the BRTA to paint 50 road tennis courts across Barbados this year, and we have committed to supplying over 200 gallons of paint towards this effort.
All right, let's take a look at forecast conditions as recorded earlier at the Met Office of the Grant Lee Adams International Airport. What's happening today? At the moment, 23.9 degrees Celsius, cloudy conditions prevail, and the winds are coming from the east-southeast at 22 kilometers an hour. Expect a low tide at 3 minutes after 1 this afternoon, a high tide around 25 minutes after 7 this morning, with a second at 6 after 7 tonight. Seas, they are predicted to be moderate in open water, swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters. Barbados today, expect partly cloudy, partly sunny conditions to prevail with a few brief isolated light showers. And for tonight, partly cloudy with a few brief isolated light showers. And now we'll look at some forecast conditions for some international cities. And that's it for today's edition of the CBC Morning Report. I'm Pearson Bowen. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to today. Today is Thursday, January the 12th, 2023. And I said it like that because it's also the day that my sister Joy celebrates her birthday. So to you, Joy Bowen, congratulations today on your birthday, younger sister than me. And so she's celebrating her birthday today. From the family to you, Joy. Happy birthday today as you celebrate. Now, thank you, wherever you are, for joining us on today's edition of the Morning Barbados. We're grateful for your company. If you're watching us on our YouTube and Facebook streams as well, thank you. Remember to continue to interact among yourselves, but also with us. So we want to hear from you as you share your feedback as we go. Coming up today, we'll be unscrambling some letters as per usual. So look out to place that call when we ask you to do so. The NCF is rolling a whole new series of community training programs. We shall hear about that this morning. And is it coming to a community near you? And is it an interest that you have? We'll tell you about that as well. We'll also today be hearing from the people at the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. You know they've been in the news, and so they'll come tell their story to us this morning on Morning Barbados. A pioneering Barbadian entrepreneur, May Hines, has her book. She talks about her tourism journey. We will talk about that with her this morning as well. Don't miss it. The very talented Irika Jelani, who is super talented, is mounting an exhibition. And so we can't wait to tell you details about that exhibition in just a bit. I want to get started this morning, though, by celebrating the success of the just concluded Lex Gem pageant. The winners are with us this morning, and the managing director of the Lex Gem pageant. Rico Bradshaw is the managing director. With him is Kyrique Aline, Mr. Lux Gem 2022, and Amber Hinkson, Miss Lux Gem 2022. To each of you, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Pearson, and good morning, Barbados.
Thank you so much for joining us. Rico, I'll start with you so that everybody understands what is the Lux Gem project and the pageant. Could you explain to us what the organization is about?
Okay, so Lux Gem, GEM stands for Growing Empowering Minds, is an organization that seeks to provide personal and professional development for young persons between the ages of 16 up to the age of 30. The organization focuses a lot on persons who have been through school and through finding out what they want to become in helping them to achieve their future aspirations. We recognize that a lot of the young persons were kind of lost in terms of where they want to be in the future. And we would have developed this particular platform to help those individuals, where we go through a series of personal developmental sessions with different industry professionals. And then we move into the professional aspect of it, where they get an opportunity to work with different professions across Barbados, and also helping them to write their resume, how to conduct themselves in interviews, and also within the workplace as well.
How do you find these young people?
Basically, we do advertisement and through recruitment, but also through different persons and different other organizations who see what we are doing and recommend persons to us that would need the assistance.
So the pageant was just concluded, and it was clearly a whole series of preparation workshops that would have had to obtain. How long did it take from planning and conception to execution?
Well, the program would have started around April, May last year, and it runs for approximately 9 months. And they go through, as I said, the personal and professional development workshop and mentoring sessions first before the actual pageant preparation starts. Yes, it's a pageant, but we look at it as a showcase to showcase the development of the young people, as well as the opportunity for local designers and persons within the creative industry to showcase their work, whether it be designers of clothing, entertainment, personnel, and a whole heap of persons within the creative industry. And that's what we showcase at the pageant, basically.
All right. So, Amber, at the end of it all, you were crowned Miss Lux Gem 2022. You could have sat like all the others on the sidelines, but you decided, nah, I'm joining this, I'm doing this. Why did you make that decision to step forward?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I made the decision because I was very familiar within the athletic field growing up, especially being in school. And I wanted to step away from that, especially since I started working full-time and it was on my gap year. I took interest in the pageant after recognizing its purpose. As we know, pageantry can be fairly expensive and it's only on the beauty side, etc. But this one was unique to me because it became cohesive with developmental sessions, etc. And I found that very inspirational. And then looking on to the queen that won last year, that really put the icing on the cake that this is exactly what I wanted to do. An environment that would allow me to harness my abilities and, you know, grow my confidence and reach my fullest potential. And it's evident with this crown that I would have received on Sunday. So I'm very glad for that decision that I made.
How many other females were you competing against?
It was 4 other females.
So the 5 of you there, and so it came down, tick-tock, time is about to make that decision. The announcement is about to be made, and so what kinds of emotions were you experiencing just before the announcement? What were you feeling?
I was, for a second, I knew that I would have won because
Really?
Yes, I did. I massaged my mindset of that one of a winning ability. So I always try to stay optimistic in whatever I did. And I just had a feeling that I would have won. And then when I heard my name, I didn't even hear my name. The audience was echoing my name in the crowd. And I was like, is this really about to happen? And I was just overwhelmed and very proud of myself in the moment.
Wow. How does it feel having the crown on your head even today?
A lot of hard work has to be done. It's okay for it to look here and sparkle and look nice and pretty, but I know that behind this crown means a lot, not only for myself, knowing that the journey I would have taken through the pageant, but also for persons like Rico Bradshaw, who would have had an instrumental role, as this would have been his vision. So this crown stands here on my head as an example and, you know, just a representation of what hard work really is, and fulfilling your passions and purpose and making it materialize is what I see with this crown on my head today.
Well said. Kyrique, what about you? You also made that tough decision. I say tough because, you know, stepping forward to represent oneself in public in front of everybody is not easy. So you made that decision to offer yourself as the Mr. Lux Gem. What was it that made you decide to participate in the way that you did? Kyrique? All right, seems as if Kyrique is stuck for just a moment, but we'll hear from him as well. But Rico, you just heard what Amber said, and she talked a lot about the development process that obtained as well. What else are you planning behind the scenes that we don't know yet about that, you know, to help encourage and to develop our young people to be as positive as we just saw displayed by Amber?
Okay, so let me say that I'm also the chairman of the Made It Against the Odds Foundation, which is headed by Miss Tamika Newton. She's the president. And under that foundation as well, we also have Nets Foundation called Scar Not Shattered. Miato is a foundation that focuses on highlighting persons who have made it against the odds, whether despite their backgrounds or despite what they've been through in life, both in sports, academics, even the disabled, those physically challenged individuals as well. And then the Scar Not Shattered now focuses on persons who have been through trauma, domestic violence, where they have the opportunity to share their stories to help persons to heal through their testimonies. And through working with these particular organizations, there's a lot in store and a lot planned for the future. I don't want to let everything out, but we would be working with a lot of young people, as we recognize that a lot of the young persons have been through a lot, me myself as well too, and that's what pushes and give me the passion to do what I do to help young persons within the community and with and at large Barbados.
Well done.
Apart from that as well too, we also will be launching 2 major projects pretty shortly for the younger generation as well too, those persons within the primary school aspect and early secondary school as well too.
Wow, you never stop. So, Kyrique, I believe you're back there now. Kyrique, congratulations first of all. It's Mr. Lux Gem 2022. What does it feel like to be Mr. Lux Gem 2022? Kyrique, can you hear me? Somebody please help Kyrique so Kyrique can hear me so that we can talk to each other. Indeed, we're celebrating this morning the winners of the recently concluded Lux Gem 2022, the pageant that's on. It's a developmental pageant, and we would have met first with the Queen herself, Amber Hinkson. We've been hearing from the managing director of the whole process. Growing Empowering Minds. It's an organization, Growing Empowering Minds. Rico Bradshaw, he's working with it there indeed, but much more still in the works for them as they continue to work their way through our society to bring about positive change among our young people who are already doing quite well. We hear ourselves Amber, who is quite articulate, quite confident, very focused, and I love that. When we meet our young people who are all of that together, that makes me thrilled indeed. And so let's see if we can get Kyrique again. Kyrique. Morning, Kyrique.
Yes, please.
Kyrique, you need to work on your internet. Your internet is so
Good
slow that I
morning,
am.
Pearson, and good morning, Barbados.
You too. So, Kyrique, what does it mean to be Mr. Lux Gem 2022? All right. That seems not to be working, but we say congratulations. We say congratulations to Amber and to Kyrique. And so, Rico, I'll give you the last words as we get ready to say goodbye to all of you. There we see images of the success. Who worked on the production with you?
Yes, so we have a team of directors, both myself, Miss Tamika Newton, actually, that I mentioned before. She is the personal and professional development director. We have our production manager and fashion director, Mr. Lester Welch. We have our talent director and official choreographer, Ambia Paris. We also have our administrative director and her team that is headed by Miss Samantha Blanche. And then we also have our marketing director, Mr. Stefan Burgess as well, who are the head of the organization. But we also have other committee members as well that assist us throughout this journey. And I want to say a huge thank you to our major sponsors, Abida Hotel, the National Culture Foundation, the Ray Port Army, Ray Fashion Academy as well too. There's so much to call.
Thanks to all of them. You see, that's the trick.
To all of them for sure.
That's the trap. You never start it because you can't finish it sometimes. So you just say thank you to everyone who has helped. We thank you too. Rico, thank you so much for joining us. And Amber, congratulations. Kyrique, congratulations to you as well. All of you continue doing well what you do. And I know, Amber, you are going to be quite a star. I could hear it, I could see it, I could feel it already from you. So all the best for the future endeavors to each of you. And thank you for joining us this morning.
And thank you for having us, Pearson.
You're welcome. You're welcome indeed. You're welcome, Amber. So congratulations to all involved in the Lux Gem recent pageant held. Kyrique, Aline, we'd hoped to be able to connect with him. Clearly we couldn't, but we say congratulations to him as well. A break, and when we come back, much more here on the Thursday edition of Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're 13 and a half minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock. Our next guest is Irika Jelani, who has lived a life as a cultural practitioner, as an artist, as a woman of the soil, a woman of true value and worth. And so she joins us this morning just ahead of the launch of her exhibition. So Irika, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You know, for as long as I've known you, this is who you've been. This is who you are. You live your life and have been living your life. What is it about what you do that made you think from as long as you've known yourself that you should be this way?
Well, sometimes I say it's just a calling. I remember good morning to each and everyone in the hearing of my voice, Morning Barbados. You know, from in the 80s, after I left school in the late 70s, you know, always and trotting the life of Haitian Rastafari, you know, I come into this aspect of being in love with nature, being in love with things natural, being in love with self-development, self-reliance, and, you know, trying to pray and ask his choice. And coming from a background of my Vincentian mother, who always used to work with her hands and do housecraft and handicraft items, you know, this idea, oh, I could just do basketry.
Yes.
So from there till now, you know, I've been on the journey of weaving, of dealing with our botanical traditions, and, you know, living that natural lifestyle and dealing with natural healing and, you know, self-preservation of our cultural heritage and so on. So I've maintained that and, you know, worked hard at honing my skills, and here I am today.
Yeah, I mean, you've been so true to what you believe. It is beautiful to observe. We know you first, as you said, through your basketry, and you've done such great work in creating all sorts of basketry in different kinds of things that people use. And so here now is the exhibition coming up, but you've not just done basketry alone. I mean, you're interested in your botanical plants and so forth, but what else have you been doing?
Well, I remember after I won a Commonwealth Scholarship in 1992 and sojourned to Ghana, West Africa, while there at the University of Science and Technology at the College of Art, you know, I was introduced to fine arts and painting and sculpture and metalwork and a whole range of the work of the art forms. And, you know, after I came home from Ghana then, I furthered my studies and did art at CXC level, and then went to BCC, did my associate degree. And later on in life, 2008, I went and pursued the Bachelor's of Art in, you know, studio art.
Yes.
So my love for painting and sculpture and fine art continues. And I always learned I was taught and encouraged to consolidate the various art forms. And, I decided to pick up the brush and the canvas. And this project was done through the Cultural Industries Development Fund grant, which I received from the National Cultural Foundation. And this body of work stems from that. We had to produce a body of work in 4 months and then do an exhibition. So I have done with this collection a collection of painting, acrylic paintings, print, mainly monoprints, and my basketry.
And I'm glad you
Which will be
painted.
on show.
Right. I'm glad you painted all of that because people have boxed you into just the basketry woman. But I'm glad that you've shown to them that you've done much more. You're far skilled at so much more. And so we're taking a look at some of the pieces that no doubt we will see on exhibition starting the 14th of January, correct?
Yes, please. This Saturday coming, the opening will be from 5 until 7. So around 4:30, persons can start strolling in and seeing the work. And the work is based on platforms in our landscape and, immediate surroundings. And as you know, and whoever know me know that I love things natural. I love Mother Nature because Mother Nature is, that provides us with our food, clothing, and shelter. And there's so much beauty around us. And sometimes, I try to capture that in some of the work in a kind of semi-abstract way, where I use a lot of color, tonal value, textures to bring out the forms and so on. So I just moved from an extension because I learned that in life you always have to develop your skill. And in terms of me promoting sustainable development, self-help and self-reliant persons, to have, I personally have a love and a connection with the land. And I say within my art, I would like to capture some of the beauty that is around us, and hence this production of this body of work.
Right. It's at the Queen's Park Gallery starting this Saturday, the 14th. And so for a lot of people who don't have the same love, perhaps it's an opportunity for you to come and see what it is that Irika sees. And from her eyes, her experience as well, you get to know more, but you also get to love it in the way that she sees it as well. So it's it launches this Saturday. The Queen's Park Gallery, it's where it's going to be. And for how long will the exhibition be on, Irika?
It runs for 2 weeks, from the 14th to the 28th, and normal gallery hours from 10 until 6 on evenings. And, I encourage everyone to come out, see the work. Some of them is in different stages, but, I had to meet the requirements, so I decided to showcase the work. At first, sometimes I push myself a bit hard. I wanted to do 6 paintings, but I tried to push myself for 10. So, I hope the patrons and those who visit the gallery enjoy the work. And as we say, I will continue to improve and hone my skills as I experiment. So I want to give thanks to my family, to the National Cultural Foundation, all those officers that encouraged and supported me throughout the last couple months. And, Don Smallwater Bailey, everyone that had a hand in what I do. And, my mother was an ardent reverend, and my late mother, now 2 years she passed, she was a spiritual Baptist, and she always encouraged me to pray, no matter how hard and difficult the journey might be, but hold the faith and keep pushing through until the end.
And keep pushing through until the end. But what I love about it is that as your mother was with you, you are with your children. Kweku, your son, Kweku Jelani, master musician on the island, and all of the others who've sprung from you. What does it mean for you now to see them grow in the way that you've been raised?
Well, within a society that have so much distractions and peer pressure, I am a very stern, we are family oriented, and I really love my children, my family, my husband. Everyone support me. And, when they go out to school and mix with the friends and so on, I kind of hold the reins.
Yes.
They don't overreact. When we learn to let go. But I think that I like to say that I want to raise responsible children and encourage all of them went to culture camps, NCF and EBCC and so on. But, it's not an easy road, but I try to encourage them to be the best they can be with manners and respect. And Kwaku is doing very well for himself as a jazz trumpeter.
Yes.
And, he's a big man. He's a mommy as a big man. Subira, she's doing well. Baruti, he's a drummer as well, learning from summer camps.
Yes.
So, yeah, I try to encourage them to be the best they can be and tell them, hold on to your spiritual values. You must have a moral compass. And I encourage all young people to try and pick up a skill, learn something, learn to be independent, learn to help yourself. The onus is on each and every one of us to help ourselves in this world and to be the best that we can be. So big up and thanks everyone, and I look forward to seeing you come and view the exhibition and even purchase some of the work.
And that's what I was coming to. Yes, that's good. That you can actually, when you come to the exhibition, you can purchase some of the work. One of our commenters is saying, "Oh wow, this is some beautiful artwork. Congratulations, madam." She called you. Her name is Irika. But certainly come to the exhibition. One of our nurses, her work is absolutely beautiful. She has some very unique pieces. Love them. And so people are talking about you.
Thank you so much.
And we would want not just to talk, folks, but come to the exhibition. And what I would hope is that at the exhibition, I know you're open from 10 in the morning till 6 in the evening for 2 weeks, starting from Saturday. Are you going to be there every single day? Because I'd love for people to come and talk to you. You're such an interesting person to talk to. Would that be possible?
Well, I'll be there some days because, I have so many different projects working on.
Yes.
I have the farm, Ngozis Farm and Cultural Sanctuary in Turnasol, St. Andrew. Then I'm also pursuing my PhD. I'm into research. So, yes, I'll be around some days, but yeah, I also post it on my Facebook page some of the days that I will be there.
Good.
But yeah, whether I'm there or not, I encourage persons to come out, leave your comments in the comments book. And, just let us continue to encourage and appreciate, support, and purchase local Barbadian authentic fine craft and art.
That is so true. Well put indeed. Irika Jelani is her name. The exhibition starts, it launches on Saturday. And so the launch is this coming Saturday at 5. And is that by invitation, the launch, or is it open to anyone coming to, can they all come to the launch?
I don't have no restrictions. You're all welcome.
I like
come
you.
and see the show, come and support Barbadian local arts. And it's all about building culture, developing our economic and financial independence, and shop local, appreciate culture and the creative arts, whether it's be dance, whether it's fine craft, fine arts, singing, poetry. Let us all continue to develop and support our ancient arts and crafts.
Indeed. So, Irika, I thank you for joining us this morning. I wish you the very best with this exhibition and with all of your future endeavors. You're completing your doctorate, and we can't wait to call you then Dr. Irika Jelani, because we know you're going to be the success you have been thus far. And thank you too for taking time with your children and your offspring to bring them up solidly and reminding them never to stray away from the word of God. Indeed. Thank you, Irika. Wonderful having you this morning.
Moral compass. Thanks to the National Cultural Foundation and the Culture Industries Development Fund.
Indeed. Bless so. Bless up indeed. Thank you. Irika Jelani. Remember, the exhibition launches this Saturday at 5 at the Queen's Park Gallery. The exhibition continues for the next 2 weeks at the Queen's Park Gallery as well, from 10 in the morning till 6 in the afternoon each day. Watch the exhibition, purchase some of the pieces that are available there as well. And on some days, Irika will be there. She'll post it on her social media, the days on which she'll be there. So you can come talk to her, get to know the artist a little bit better. She is a lovely lady, very rich in her culture, very rich in her experience, and she can share much with you as well. Every good reason to go to the Queen's Park Gallery starting this coming Saturday, the 14th. We'll take a break here. We're coming back with the news in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
The CBC That Made Us, featuring programming from yesteryear, which impacted the lives of many Barbadians. Join me, Sean Green, taking you back to some of your favorite shows from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s during the series The CBC That Made Us, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and repeated on Fridays, 11:30 a.m. The CBC That Made Us.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more.
Morning, good morning, good morning to you.
It's 7 o'clock, time for us to take another look at the news. A number of homes have been handed over to families as part of government's White Hill relocation project. Trevor Thorpe reports.
It was with a sense of happiness and satisfaction that these three families accepted the keys to their new homes at Farmers St. Thomas today. The process is the realization of government's promise made with the White Hill relocation project. Minister of Housing, Dwight Sutherland, accompanied by Member of Parliament for St. Andrew, Dr. Rommel Springer, and officials from his ministry and of the National Housing Corporation, handed over the keys.
Despite handing over the three houses here this morning, we are not finished. We have sent out tenders, Mr. Foster, to construct 4 additional houses this year for persons from White Hill to be relocated in Farmers. So that would make the total of 19 persons, hopefully by the end of this financial year.
Minister Sutherland says the project is about keeping the community together while alleviating the problem faced by residents of White Hill.
We are building a new road at White Hill, and we have an additional 14 persons to be relocated. Now we are here this morning not only to hand over keys to Mr. Kamabash and the Ward family and the small family, but we are here this morning also to look at the availability of land in this area. I understand there's some 4 to 5 acres that we want to discuss with the landowners, whereby we can purchase it. The state can buy it, government can purchase it, so that those 14 persons, the additional 14 persons, can be relocated and they still have a nice community. It will be the White Hill community in Farmers.
Member of Parliament for the area, Dr. Rommel Springer, says it is the start of the resettlement process for families and the beginning of a road project.
This is just 3 of what is expected to be additional 16 or so persons who would be relocated to this location. Of those 16, 14 will be as a direct result of the plan works for the road that we are repairing in White Hill. Now I'm happy to share with Barbados that we are pretty much advanced in our planning stages for the reconstruction of a road in White Hill. This would have been about 8 years or so since the road was slipped away, and it was determined in our discussions in our planning sessions that by the engineers that it would not be safe to build a road using the same footprint that really the existing road is located.
33 people will be moved by the end of this financial year. Trevor Thorpe.
We're hopeful of getting qualified members of the faith-based community to assist in providing critical professional counseling services to the island's school children. That's according to the Minister Colin Jordan, who made the comment as he addressed a faith-based organization's consultation at the Lord Erskine Sandiford Centre in his capacity as Minister responsible for ecclesiastical affairs. Also speaking at that consultation were some members of the faith-based organizations who've been sharing their view on the island's crime situation. Ryan Broom has more.
Good morning.
In his opening remarks, Minister Jordan thanked the leaders for their ongoing work, both individually and along with government, in helping to attend to many of the needs of the island's most vulnerable individuals and families, especially during the pandemic. He says government is now keen on once again pushing the offer previously made by faith-based organizations to assist in the provision of professional counseling services.
This is an idea that preceded COVID because there was a recognition, and there continues to be a recognition, that the state is not able to provide all the resources to address counseling in our educational institutions, particularly our primary and our secondary schools. We do not have enough trained counselors that we can employ and deploy.
Minister Jordan adds that government recognizes the various challenges that exist in the school setting that affect both students and teachers. However, he says the nature of counseling they are seeking to secure right now will be mainly for the children.
The children come from all kinds of backgrounds, from all kinds of situations, and it is not a matter of only one type of child needing counseling or needing some engagement that will help in their development. Children, students across the board have varying challenges, and coming out of that, and based on an approach to me some years ago by a leader of a faith-based organization, I've reached out to the Ministry of Education. We've had an initial meeting. We need to push on that because now, in a post-COVID environment, the challenges have increased probably exponentially.
Also making opening remarks was Chairman of the Barbados Christian Council, Reverend Dr. Cicely Athill Horsford, who expressed concern about the various threats to peace in society.
Across the country, outbreaks of crime, which were previously localized, have gotten more organized. And without security and peace, there is no meaningful development in our society.
Now, this morning's consultation was held under the aegis of the Ministry of Labor, Social Security and the Third Sector. While ecclesiastical affairs previously fell under the Ministry of People's Empowerment and Elder Affairs, it was transferred to the Labor Ministry last year. The consultation was therefore held to give Minister Jordan and other ministry officials the opportunity to interface with the various faith leaders on their role and involvement in helping to generate ideas and formulate policy towards national development. Ryan Broom, CBC News.
So news until now. We'll have more news here on TV8 at 12 noon in the CBC News Day. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Matchback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
While you go about your business, we go about our business.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
10 minutes after 7 o'clock now. Thank you so much for joining us and staying with us today on Thursday, January the 12th. Now, the National Cultural Foundation, as you know, has been tasked with developing our culture from the grassroots up, literally the community activity, all the way through to the big stage and beyond. Renee Taylor is a part of that movement. She is the Cultural Officer for Theatre Arts with the National Cultural Foundation. She joins us now as the NCF prepares to launch a whole new series of community training sessions. Good morning to you, Renee.
Good morning, Pearson.
Thank you for joining us. What are these sessions that are going to be happening across the island? What's going on?
Oh, it's so exciting. So this is actually a continuation of the program that we would have started last year. We had a little hiatus over the Christmas break. So this is the second session. We've reopened registration for persons to participate. And we will again be offering classes in things like landship, maypole, tuk band, flute, as well as drama and spoken word, and lots of dance programs as well. We have classes in dance, in traditional African dance, Afro beats, street dance, you name it. There's something for everybody.
Right, and these are a series of workshops in the intangible cultural heritage of ours, which is the landship, you know, the tuk band, the use of the flute, the stick-licking African dance, and a whole lot more. Where are these sessions going to be held, and how are you planning to roll them out and continue to roll them out?
So we have 14 venues across the island, north, south, east, west. We're as far as Boscobel Community Center in the north, as well as St. Christopher Primary in the south, Princess Margaret School. We have central locations, which include the Springer Memorial Secondary, as well as the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre in Queen's Park, Harrison College. If you just log on to our website, ncf.bb, and click on the registration form, you can see all the various classes that are available at all the different venues, the different times. Most are on evenings after work and Saturdays, some on Sundays as well.
All right. It's registration free, by the way, and how easy is it to register?
You just click on the website, ncf.bb, and click on our registration form. Or if you want, we have some physical registration forms you can come to the NCF and collect. Today is the last day for registrations. We had open registrations in December, so this is our last kick. So today, get it in by midnight tonight. That's our registration form there. Correct.
Right.
And we're rolling out. We should be starting next week. So whatever day of the week your class is that you signed up for, whether Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're starting next week. So you just show up at the venue in some comfortable clothes and have some fun.
I like that, and have some fun. So you can register for more than one program indeed, as we just saw from the different boxes available in registration, once it fits your time and it's convenient to you to be able to do so. Is it only open to those of you who have been a part of the cultural expressions for a long time, or novice me can come and be a part of it too?
Yes, please. Everybody can come, any age, all skill levels. We have as young as 4-year-olds taking part and as old as 67-year-olds taking part. So it's wonderful to see like that intergenerational exchange. We have family units who are coming together, and there's so little things currently I find that families can do together. This is one of those things. And as you said, you can do a dance class, you can do a drama class, you can do a tuk band class, as many classes as you're up for. Sign up for them all if you have the time.
So if you have the time, sign up for them all. So true, Renee. But you know what I like about the whole series of workshops is that you begin to learn your own history. I get a better understanding of when you watch the tuk band, for instance, or when you get engaged and you see a Mother Sally, what does she do? Who is she and why is she dressed in the way she is? Those kinds of stories I'm suggesting are being told at the workshops, correct?
You're so right. It's been beautiful to see that intergenerational exchange. Like the elders are passing on our cultural stories to like the little ones who don't know about it, and they're learning about their culture and history. And they're also helping modernize those stories and saying how it's relatable and how it is relevant to them in this new age, this new time.
Help us understand, because there's some who look at that and think that's idle nonsense of years ago. We don't need to be doing that at all. How do you dispel that? And what do you say to anyone who holds that point of view today, and to encourage them to be a part of these sessions?
You can't know where you're going until you know where you've come from. It gives you a sense of pride to know your history and your culture. You know, it improves your self-confidence. It is so important to know your history. Especially history that I think has been kept from us for a long time, you know?
Yeah. And retelling our history, because it's been told to us in one particular light, and perhaps now you need to see the truth of what our history has been and how beautiful it really truly is, and not to demonize it in the ways that have been told to us. And so these series of community workshops allow us to be able again to repaint or reclothe ourselves in our true image. And that's what I think is going to be so interesting for everyone who signs up and registers to be a part of it. By the way, registration, by the way, folks, closes today, midnight tonight. So you really don't have a lot of time still to get it all in there, but decide very quickly that where you want to go, what you want to be engaged in, and remind us again, Renee, of the different categories and different workshops.
Okay, so we're offering workshops in flute, tuck band, landship, maypole, dance as well, Afro beats, traditional African dance, street dance, as well as drama and spoken word.
And as you see on your screen, folks, our production crew are going through it just like it with you, and they're showing you how it's done, you know, and in that, it shows it's very, very easy indeed to be able to complete. And you just hit click at the end of it all, submit, and you are good to go. Your registration is in. Classes resume this coming weekend?
This next week. So we're starting on Monday. Obviously Saturday, the upcoming bank holiday, we won't be starting the Saturday classes. Then we'll commence the next Saturday, sorry. But yes, so from next week, you come out, bring some comfortable clothes, maybe a water bottle, a notebook, and our tutors are ready, able, excited.
And the people are ready, able, and equally excited to be a part of it all indeed. So folks, let's register. Let's do this, because it's a community, it's a groundswell. And the more and more you see people come through and they exhibit the skills that they have gained from these community training workshops, you will feel left out. So do not be left out indeed. Go register today to the ncf.bb. That's the website, ncf.bb/registration-forms. And you are good to go to be a part of the Intangible Cultural Heritage training workshops, which are on again in all sorts of disciplines. You see them all there when you go to sign up, and you select the multiple disciplines with which you'd want to engage. It doesn't have to be one. It could be one, or it could be many, or it could be all of them. And you will find yourself becoming a better Barbadian, a better understanding of who we are, where we've come from, but best of all, where we will go, because you will unleash for yourself your full potential in all of the disciplines as well. Renee, thank you for joining us this morning. I really hope that all Barbadians, as many Barbadians as possible as you can accommodate. And I'm sure if you, depending on the response, you might even be able to do it more readily again real soon.
We are hopeful.
See?
Yes, it's been a pleasure. Yeah.
So I'll tell you, Renee Taylor, thank you very much indeed for joining us. All the best to you today. Is it raining where you are, by the way?
At the minute, the sun has come out, but it was raining pretty heavily this morning.
It was a good start to our morning indeed. I could feel it coming from you. Thank you so much, Renee. Have a good day. You're welcome. You're welcome indeed. We're taking a break here. When we come back, we meet that pioneering tourism entrepreneur in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
20 minutes now after 7 o'clock, I have it in my hand, the book. The book, My Tourism Journey, Memoir of Pioneering Barbadian Entrepreneur. We go January, February, March, April. Then we meet May. May Hines is that person. May, you're laughing. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
It is so good to see you again. You know, congratulations, first of all, on the book.
Thank you.
You know, at the back of the book, the very back of the book, you say, they tell us it's a story of an entrepreneur's passion for service excellence and transforming people and organizations in 19 Caribbean countries. You've done that. Having written this book, when you began to document your life, tell me what it meant to you to be able to do so, and what did you discover about yourself?
Well, let me, Pearson, start by saying that 4 key words, I would say, set the scene for me and is the purpose of my tourism journey. The first one is sharing. I have been in the tourism and hospitality industries now for over 40 years. And I basically feel that I could share that experience in terms of having persons understand tourism and hospitality from an insider's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in terms of encouraging and empowering students as well, persons who may be looking for a career in tourism, I think my book will really give them a lot to consider and help them to understand the industry. And thirdly, Pearson, I'm a tourism practitioner, and therefore I am hoping, and part of the reason why the book was written is hopefully I will contribute to the growth of the literature on Caribbean tourism.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much from an academic perspective, but from a roll up your sleeve, hands-on experience.
Yes.
So that's really it for me. And I have been grateful. I've always had God in my system. And the Caribbean has shaped my professional portfolio.
Indeed, it truly has. You know, I remember you as the deliverer of service excellence. That much I knew about you. I knew you were part of tourism as well, but in turning the pages of your book, you said to us from the book the story of your mother and, you know, what she meant and the example she set for you. And so how much of that, while observing your mother, has been a part of your decision to be a part of the tourism industry?
Well, after overhearing a conversation by one of our transformational leaders way back in the 1960s, which looked basically at tourism as a part of the transformational dimension for Barbados, I looked at my mom, who at the time had been working at Barbados's Five Diamond Resort. She seemed to be quite happy in terms of her experience. And I watched her, how diligent she was. I watched how she carried herself, the dedication to the job. And those things inspired me. But I also have to say to you that this book really is about 3 other women. 2 aunts of mine and an American who I engaged with when I went off to the United States on an American Field Scholarship. So 4 women, including my mother, basically are the engine in terms of shaping me as the person that I am. Yeah?
Yes.
So mom led the way, but she had some help because, of course, when I was growing up, I'm sure you're probably too young to know this, but in terms of other people sharing in the responsibility of bringing children up, that was the kind of environment in which I grew up at the time.
I'm not too young to know that. I've been a part of that too. Thank you very much. Okay. You know, but you also, and many may not know, you are a past student of the Alexandra School, and it was while there as well, an opportunity was given to you to be able then to further yourself, to prepare yourself for the unleash to the world. Talk to me a little bit about that stage of your life.
Yes, that sacred school in the north, the Alexandra School. And as I said to you earlier, one of the things that got me going on this book is really Barbados' student population. I am hoping that I can both encourage and empower students who will put their hands on this book. And actually, the Alexandra School is exactly where I'm going. I had a chat yesterday with the deputy head, and I'm hoping to make a presentation of my book because that school gave me my grounding. So yeah, that's where I am in terms, again, of leading, hopefully, what can be this book, assisting with empowering and encouraging students across Barbados. But I'm starting, of course, at my alma mater.
Yes, that's a good start. That's a really good start indeed. And so the book is littered with photographs of your experiences, the people you've met, the places you've been, and the kinds of things you've done. And so, you know, for anyone picking up the book today, it's a very easy read because it's truly written in the style that makes you want to continue. You're fascinated about what else is around the corner as you turn the page. But it also sets you and roots you into what was tourism, what is the potential for tourism. And so in chronicling this journey, who are some of the people you've met? Where are some of the places you've been? What are some of the things you've done that you've shared with us in the book?
Well, Pearson, my journey has taken me from Barbados to Belize, to Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, the OECS, across to Anguilla, you know, all around.
Yes.
But one of the things that I have learned as an entrepreneur and as I undertook my journey is that you never do anything alone. First of all, the book. You probably know a gentleman by the name of Rodon Eversley. Well,
Yes,
Mr.
I do.
Eversley edited this book. Okay, and then you have Miller Publishing. You have the persons who would have done the layout. So I might have provided the content and the pioneering story, but if those persons weren't involved in the process, then you know it would not have been the product that it is.
Yes.
People I've met. Let me say to you that after I started my pioneering journey, Jamaica was my first stop. And the past Director General of Tourism in Jamaica, who hired me way back in the 1980s, is now a friend of my family.
Wow.
Then you go across to Nevis, the Year Woods. I did a CDB project there, opening their hotel way back in the probably the late 60s, 70s. And you know, Karen and John Yarwood are friends. Their daughter Rachel came to my daughter Joanne's wedding. Then there's Belize. The current minister is a young coachee of mine when I worked in Belize. So these are some of the people in the book. Then my most recent pioneering stint, of course, has been in the area of service quality management.
Yes.
And of course, persons like Cheryl Newman from Champers is in that book. Colleagues like Carol Cadogan, Peter Odell had to be in that book. Many people do not really understand the evolution of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association. Ably cheered now by a young Barbadian, Renee Coppin.
Yes.
But Peter Odell and persons like Basil Forbes, myself, who began to see that Barbados' tourism was going beyond hotels. You had what was called in the ancillary sector, which would have been persons like myself, a consulting company, Basil Forbes, manufacturing, Ian Proverbs, he was into car rentals, Sue Yelling. The point I'm making here is that even up to today, I think some of us, and I put myself in there, have fallen short in terms of tourism awareness because people still see the BHTA as hotels. It's not. Actually,
Yes.
the industry we are talking about, I like to contextualize it as travel, tourism, and hospitality. They're three sort of interlocking industries. So that's my spin there on that one.
What a fascinating life you've lived indeed. And so part of the book as well is you're leaving us some kernels of truth for a lot of us. And you've listed 12 of them. You know, choose and live your dream. Trust God and believe in yourself. Find your niche. Have a vision. Deliver excellence, something at which you stand every day. Quality relationships matter. You go on to talk about, move with the times, have a spirit of gratitude. And I'm turning as I go, folks. These are pages in the book. Share your success, assist in the development of people, which is important to give back. Foreign does not necessarily mean better, and rethink approach to tourism. All of these are truths which you've shared from your lived experience. And I want to encourage people to get the book, to read it for themselves. It is, and I've only scanned it, so you can imagine when you really begin to go through the book, the truths that pop out to you. Where can people get copies of the book, My Tourism Journey, a memoir of a pioneering Barbadian entrepreneur?
Right. The book can be purchased from Cloister, from Days Books. It can also be purchased from UWI Bookstore, and it can be purchased from Black Rock Books. And also those persons who are living overseas, they can also go to that website, bookfinder.com. Mm-hmm. So, and it's growing. I'm getting actually persons from the retail sector asking me, could we carry the book? So I'm now looking at that. And I just want to take the opportunity to thank, I believe you got a call from a reader of the book. That's what inspired me to be on here.
Yes.
I got a call saying, I called Pearson Bowen and said, you got to get me on. The book is easy to read. And you mentioned it just now and blah, 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 blah. So I really want to thank everybody. It has been overwhelming since the launch and the book signing. And as I said, Pearson, I want to end on this. As I begin to retire, because I can't retire yet, my focus right now is on encouraging and empowering the student population in Barbados, and I'm starting with the Alexandra School down in St. Peter.
And then from there, heaven knows where it takes you, because the sky is truly the limit. Indeed.
That's right.
May Hines is her name. She's an inspiration indeed. She's a Barbadian. She's the author of this book. She's put it all together for our learning, our instruction, our inspiration, and for us to purchase as well. You know the places to go. Now you have to go and get a copy of it yourself. You see all the beautiful pictures of the people and the places she's been, the people who she's met, and the things that she's done. So you read it for yourself, you experience it for yourself, and as a practitioner, all of us is in tourism, it behoves us to really have the book ourselves, to see how, as small as it is, how our part adds to the bigger picture of really providing the best service to those who come and share with us on this island. May Hines, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Congratulations on the achievement thus far, and congratulations on whatever else you're about to do, because I know you're going to be doing something real soon again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pearson. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Good to see you again. A great day is yours as well.
Bye.
May Hines, bye-bye. May Hines is the author of the book. Get it today, everybody. It's a really good read. I commend it to you. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
The CBC that made us, featuring programming from yesteryear, which impacted the lives of many Barbadians. Join me, Sean Green, taking you back to some of your favorite shows from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s during the series The CBC That Made Us, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and repeated on Fridays, 11:30 a.m. The CBC that made us.
The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited group of companies is solvent. That's the official response from the Central Bank of Barbados and the Financial Services Commission. It comes after a week of much discussion in the public domain surrounding the credit union and its subsidiary Capita Financial Services. The Central Bank and the FSC condemned social media posts which suggested that Capita Financial Services Inc. had collapsed, and even warned that these alarmist statements could destabilize the financial system. Chief Operations Officer of the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited, Richard Kennedy, sat down with me to shed some light on the situation and clarify a number of concerns. I'm Crystal White. Thanks for joining us.
Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong. Over the years, we've cared for you to help you meet your needs. We're trustworthy, dependable, so you can grow financially.
The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong.
Mr. Kennedy, thanks for making the time.
Thank you very much, Crystal. Really appreciate your time as well.
Let's jump right in. What is the status of the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union and Capita?
Well, thank you very much, Crystal, for that question. As you know, we've heard quite a bit about both companies within the last couple of days in the media. And I'd start with Capita. Capita continues to perform very well. The Capita Group has seen sustained growth over the last few years. Within the last year, we've seen a growth of an excess, should I say a profit in excess of $1 million. That's from an operational perspective. When we look at it from a governance perspective, we've also seen some changes there where we've enhanced the board, we've changed out a few board members, and there's a new chairman in place. So in terms of continued growth, we also are very well positioned to see continued growth in Capita within the next financial year and beyond. As we look at the Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited, we also continue to perform very well within the credit union. We've doubled our growth within the last 10 years in terms of membership. We have consistent loan growth, seen a loan growth of about $70 million within the last financial year. We've seen a surplus of in excess of $10 million this year, which is translated to a number of benefits for the members and persons that we support in the community. So as we look at it with the growth, we also have been looking at ways that we can enhance the operations of the credit union by way of staff improvements, by way of improved governance structures, and that is something that we continue to do at this point in time to maintain the stability and growth of the credit union.
Before we start talking about growth, I want to talk about Capita. One of the primary questions Barbadians, and more specifically members, will ask is, why were the Capita financials late to the Central Bank of Barbados?
This year, we changed auditors for the group, and as a result, we started our audit later than we would have anticipated, and as a result, there were some delays in completing our audit this year.
And because of this, fines were imposed?
Yes, we were fined by the Central Bank, $18,500, and those fines have been paid. Our audited financials have been submitted to the regulators, and we've already started our audit for the upcoming year. And what we would want to do is to encourage our members to come out this Saturday at the Frank Holloman Hall to our special general meeting, where we have the opportunity to discuss Capita, the audited financials, and the way forward. Additionally, it's important for our members to register for the meeting this Saturday. For those persons who were at the last AGM, if you were registered before you, there's no need to re-register. But for those persons who didn't attend and want to be present this Saturday, we encourage you to go on and register for the upcoming meeting. This has always been part of the process, registering for our meetings. Typically, it would have been done on the day of the meeting. When you arrived, you registered manually. But because we've looked at ways of improving the way we can reach our members, we're doing a hybrid meeting where persons can do this meeting both either online or in person.
When we return, we address concerns raised in the public domain. Stay with us.
Say hello to the new BPW CCUL MasterCard debit card. It's the more secure and
convenient way to make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted. BPW CCUL MasterCard debit card comes with chip and PIN technology to provide you with more protection against fraud with the added security of a personal identification number. Use it locally, online, when you travel, and in-store to shop for groceries, order takeout, or pay for your favorite subscription services. Make your everyday purchases more quickly than you ever have before using the Tap and Go contactless feature wherever you see the contactless symbol. The BPW CCUL MasterCard debit card is the safer and faster way to pay for anything anywhere MasterCard is accepted. Terms and conditions apply. Enjoy the experience you'll get with more.
Mr. Kennedy, there's been a lot of discussion these last few days surrounding the financials as well as board members. Is it true that credit union board members are being paid $1,000 for sitting as board members and on committees, sometimes totaling $5,000 a month?
So I'd like to clarify that statement. Our board members are indeed paid a stipend to sit on the board, and that figure has been agreed by the membership of the credit union. Board members sitting on committees, that's a voluntary situation, and they're not paid any money to sit on the committees. Further, our board members can sit on a maximum of only 3 boards. Therefore, there's never an opportunity for a board member to be paid $5,000 in any given month for being a board member and sitting on the committees.
And as we are clarifying things, questions have been raised about professional bankers being a part of the credit union. Is that an issue?
That's an interesting question. What I would say is, if you look at our staffing body, we're made up of a wide cross-section of professionals coming from a number of areas. We start with those persons who are, we would say, homegrown, who've been with the credit union for over 20 years, 30 years in some instances. And those persons have been in the organization, they've been trained and they've been equipped with the skills required to run the organization. Persons like myself, I will be honest, I'm a former banker, but we recognize that the credit union in this space has grown into a very dynamic financial institution. And as a result, there are a number of things that we would want to put in place to improve and enhance the governance of the credit union. And what we've been able to do with persons like myself is to be able to transition and benchmark those best practices that we've seen in the larger banks into the credit union. But more importantly, making sure we maintain the focus of looking to what do we need for our members, and to make sure that we don't lose track of the fact that this is a member-owned and a member-focused organization. So we've been able to leverage our experiences along with those persons who've been with the credit union for a number of years for the benefit of our members at large.
It's more than just money. Join the credit union Crib Club. It's more than just money. Home development with the Crib Club. You're young and you need to save money with the Crib Club. Savings have value and sustainability. So listen, children, show some discipline. It is beneficial for you. When you save, you see the value. It's more than just money. Join the credit union Crib Club. More than just money with the credit union Crib Club.
The credit union seems focused on its members. Can you tell me about some of the initiatives that benefit members as well as the community?
Oh, definitely. We have done a number of initiatives over the years. There are some long-standing initiatives that I think are dear to our hearts when we think about our scholarship and grants program. Every year, a number of young persons having completed the common entrance, their CXCs or CAPE, or even at university, we make sure we offer scholarships and grants to them to the tune of about $300,000 in some years. That's one of the things that I think we hold very dear to our heart. What we love as well, generally young people, and it speaks to the work that we do with our thrift club. Our thrift club deals with members who are up to age 16, young persons. We're encouraging them to understand the values and the tenets of the credit union movement, to continue to make sure that we have sustained growth, and also to help them to understand the importance of savings, good financial education. And those persons have done so well. We've even had some of them move on to become staff members and so on. But our thrift club program is very, very important as it relates to educating young people about financial management. That also translates to our School Savers program, where we have in 2 of our schools a replica of the branch network that we would have here at the credit union. So we have branch officers, we have supervisors, we have tellers, and the students at these schools will actually replicate that experience that they would get in the credit union branch right in their schools as well. And it's really about empowering and educating our young persons about the importance of being thrifty, the importance of saving and preparing for the next day, and what does life look like. Beyond what we do for our young people, we also try to make sure we can help our members as much as possible. We have our social outreach program that came into play so much within the COVID period. As you can imagine, a lot of persons were not working, persons were on reduced income, and as a result, we were able to help persons with some things as simple as meals, food, pay some basic bills, and so on. And that is one of the things that we've been trying to do. Also, we've tried to help our members through our special unit put in place for persons who weren't working, to help them restructure loans and to do things better for them, to get them through this difficult period, and do financial counseling, because not everybody understands how to manage their money. And we have a financial education unit which helps persons to understand how to manage their money and to get out of a difficult financial place. One of the things we also did that was really important was to contribute to Harrison's point during the COVID period. Something that like providing the tablets and so on for doctors to make sure that they can move around easily and be able to treat the patients in the most convenient manner, and cutting edge technology. So we made sure we made a substantial contribution to them in that way as well. One of the things that I would say is most innovative for us is our mobile financial center. I think one of the only in the Caribbean region where we've been able to outfit a mobile bus, and that bus goes out into the communities, and they're able to reach our members in places that we would not be able to get to. Everybody's not able to make it to Belmont Road or to Broad Street. So we find ourselves in places where our members are at, and we're able to educate them more about the benefits of the credit union, the benefits of savings, and what are the different opportunities that they have that can benefit them. And we go to the communities to assist them. So we continue to look at as many opportunities as possible to assist, even by way of our sponsorships. I think there is a love for young people in the credit union, whether we're sponsoring youth-based programs, whether we're sponsoring sports teams, and so on. So we have been looking at sponsorships in the area of about $100,000 within the last year. That's nothing to do with our general donations of around $250,000 to persons who are definitely in need. So we continue to look for ways to help not only our members directly, but we look for ways to make sure that we can benefit the overall community in Barbados, because as the largest locally owned financial institution, we think it's important that we give back, because at the end of the day, the credit union belongs to us. This is the locally owned entity owned by its members, and we believe that we have a responsibility to not only our members, but to Barbados in general. So we continue to do as best as we can to help the Barbadian community.
And I'm glad that you mentioned the Barbadian community. What would you say to persons who now question the integrity of the credit union?
I'd say the integrity of the credit union still remains very much in place. When we look at the way we are run, we are still very much a member-based organization. Our members still have a voice. As we mentioned, there's the upcoming annual general meeting, a special general meeting, where members can come out and have a say in the way the credit union is being run. That process has not changed. Further, I mentioned that we've seen significant growth, and we've seen the importance of doing things different and enhancing the way we govern and operate the credit union. We took the opportunity to do a full governance review, and this has been ongoing for the last, I'd say, year and a half or so, where we've looked at what is the structure of the credit union and how do we improve our overall corporate governance, and that is in train. Also, we've been working very closely with our regulators, because we've understood that with the growth of the credit union and how significant we are in the financial services landscape, that we may need to do things differently, and they have been working very closely with us to make sure that our structures are in place, that we have the right people, that we have the right products and services to make sure we can serve our members very well. So with the support of not only the membership, but our regulators, the staff members, and the membership in general, we still continue to be a place of strong integrity.
Member-owned, member-focused. Mr. Kennedy, thank you for making the time.
Thank you very much.
The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong.
All right, the name of my company is Shine Automotive. So we do a range of services from the basic interior and exterior cleaning, full detailing, we do servicing, we do vehicle inspection, and we also have a retail store, the Autobot. And they chose the credit union because this is one of the credit unions who listens to its members. And being able to listen to its members is very important, especially in terms of being a financial institution institution that can use or leverage its members to be able to cater to the needs of other members. And obviously this credit union has a range of members who have professional and technical expertise in certain areas, which I'm sure that we as entrepreneurs could benefit from. And being able to create a product that could correlate the two is why, I think this credit union is special, and definitely why this credit union is one that we as entrepreneurs should definitely look at using for our financing needs or requirements.
The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong.
Hello, my name is Tamara and I'm the Chief Chandler here at Native Caribbean. We handcraft really good home fragrances in scents that are reminiscent of things in Barbadian culture. So that's from landscape, foods, even folklore. I find that the credit union has a very welcoming attitude and spirit towards micro businesses. The staff was friendly, the process, the procedure for getting a business loan was incredibly easy, and I felt as if the credit union wanted my business to work just as much as me.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 8.5 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock on a Thursday morning. By the way, it's Thursday. Because it's Thursday, the biggest thing under the sun on this island of ours is Q in the community. And folks, it's on today. It's back from today. And today, we're heading to that location right there, the White Rabbit Bar and Restaurant. The White Rabbit Bar and Restaurant. The White Rabbit Bar and Restaurant. Where is that? It's in Draxhall, St. George. Draxhall, St. George. Come out to Q in the community. Have some really good time. Food, drinks, music. The vibes are going to be popping, as the young people say. We get cracking from bright and early this morning. So come to the White Rabbit Bar and Restaurant at Draxhall, St. George today to engage with us for Q in the community. Remember, the first Q bus leaves from the Granville Williams terminal in town at 11 o'clock this morning, and it runs every hour thereafter. So from 11 o'clock this morning, be there on the bus, making your way to Draxhall St. George to the White Rabbit Bar and Restaurant for today. Q in the community, it is back, baby, as the young people say. Time now for you to unscramble some letters with me, for me. So, are you ready to give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563? Because I'm ready to receive your calls and your answers as well. So, what shall we do? We shall ask you now to look at this word, these letters on your screen, and unscramble them. I had to look. What word do you think we can make when we unscramble the letters you see on your screen? They are all jumbled up, making absolutely no sense. But you're smart enough to make sense of it, aren't you? Give us a call, 228-5562 or 228-5563, and scramble the words, the letters, and if you can use it in a sentence, that'll be fun. Want to hear you use it in a sentence as well. So let's apply the words to sentences too. So 228-5562 or 228-5563 are the numbers to call when you've unscrambled the letters and figured out the word. I hope it's becoming clearer to you so that you can get it done and you can get into me. 228-5562 or 228-5563. If this one gives you trouble at the beginning, imagine what comes next. Imagine what comes next. So let's work this one out first and fast. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. The word is transcend.
What's your first name and what parish are you watching from?
I'm watching from Christchurch, and this is Patty.
Your first name is?
Patty.
Patty?
Yes.
As in P-A-T-T-Y or P-A-T-T-I?
That's right, P-A-T-T-Y.
The Y word, the Y one. Is that short for something else?
No, it's actually Patty Ann. That's my name.
Your name is Patty Ann? For real?
Yes. Unique.
And have you ever asked your mother why she named you Patty Ann?
I have. I think it's, Patti LaBelle, the singer. I think. Yes.
So you believe she named you after her?
Yes, she did, but I can't
Or
sing,
is that-
unfortunately.
You can't?
No.
All of us can sing, even if it's not beautifully. We can all sing Patty
It's true,
Ann.
that's true.
But you believe the word is transcend?
Yes.
Use it in a sentence for me. Let me see if it's right. Patty? Pardon me?
Is it transcend?
I will answer you in a minute. Use the word in a sentence. I want to see if you're right.
Okay.
I'm listening to you.
Pardon, sorry, I'm not hearing you well.
I would like you, Patty, to use the word you believe that it is in a sentence. Let me hear you apply that word to a sentence. Let me hear you. Can you? Hard work? No, hard work. No, hard work. But Patty, yes. Don't hurt your head, girl. Don't hurt your head. Patty, you're absolutely right. It is indeed transcend.
Okay.
Transcend. Well done, Patty. Have a good morning, okay?
Thank you, you too.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. There she goeth. Look at this one. This one is so easy, but it is not what you see. Let's see if you can figure out this. These words are actually these letters are actually jumbled, okay? It is not what you see. That is not the word to call me and tell me. It is another word that you can make when you unscramble these letters right here on your screen. What do you think that word is? What do you think? And of course, you're going to use it in a sentence. I was about to say the word. I know it was just right at the tip of my tongue. What word do you think we can make from these letters that are all scrambled up right now? Fast, just so call me, 228-5562 or 228-5563. It is so simple. Good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning, Pearson.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all for time bed, thanks.
You're all for the moment. Good for the moment.
Pardon?
What's your name and what parish are you watching from?
I'm Stephanie of St. Peter.
Steph, is you again?
Yes, please.
Hey,
I am watching you the whole morning.
Bless your eyesight, girl. You get through twice in a week. That's good. What's the word, Stephanie?
the word to me look like dream. I might be wrong, but it look like dream.
You might be wrong, so use the word you think it is in the sentence.
Dream.
I get you. You can spell too. So use that word in a sentence for me, the word that you think it is.
Well, I dreamed last night.
So are you saying to me, Stephanie, you only dream at night? Is that what you're saying? You can dream at any time of the day when you feel it, but you're absolutely right. It is dream. Well done, Stephanie.
All right.
Thank you so much, girl. You're welcome. Have a good day. You too.
You too. Okay, thanks.
All right, girl. Here we go. New word. New set of letters on your screen. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What can you make from this one here? What can you do with it? 228-5562, 228-5563. Now, I wonder if this one is taken from, what's that word? What's the name of that series? The Harry Potter. I wonder if it's from the Harry Potter series. Do you think so? Look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it. Is it from the Harry Potter series? 228-5562 or 228-5563. It looks that way to me, but I could be very, very wrong. I probably am very wrong, but you can get it right. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Morning, hello.
Good morning, Pearson. How are you?
Greg, good man. How are you?
Not bad.
Good. What's the word?
Worth to me.
Was it?
Worth.
Worst?
Worth.
Is that what you said? W-O-R? Go ahead. Greg, you don't disappear?
WRTH.
That's not right, Gregory. Not at all. Not at all, buddy boy. Thank you so much for calling, though. Thanks, Gregory. No. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at your screen. Do we take continue? Let's see. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning to you.
Quick. Hi, what's the word?
Gross. Growth.
Growth. Well done. Thank you very much, okay?
Bye-bye.
Good. Bye-bye. If it be God's will, we'll do more letters and more words tomorrow. But before I go, I want to remind you again, Q in the community, Q in the community, Q in the community, Q in the community is on today at the White Rabbit Bar and Restaurant at Drax Hall, St. George. Get on the bus, the first bus from Gate 1 at the Granville Williams Terminal, making its way off to Q in the community today like you are and like you will at Drax Hall, St. George today to the White Rabbit Bar and Restaurant. Q in the community is back. That's it for today. Thank you so much for keeping company with us. My producer has been Nadia Foster. Our technical directors today, Roel Ford and Dawn Greenwich. At sound has been Michael Sobers, Master Control, Tamisha Green and Pearson Boone. For each of them, to all of you, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.